Let's dive into it. We're talking about first, Trump will be surrendering on Thursday, according to his True Social, and we'll see his comments from that. But let's start with a clip.
Former President Donald Trump has agreed to a $200,000 bond and other release conditions in the Georgia election interference case. He and 18 co-defendants face a Friday deadline to surrender.
Yeah, his co-defendants are mainly his lawyers. They're not going to mention this. It's CBS clip, but 18 of his lawyers, he got legal advice from his lawyers. His lawyers gave him the advice and everything, and they think it's wrong, so now they're charging him and his lawyers for conspiracy RICO charges. Bunch of nonsense.
To Fulton County Jail, related to alleged efforts to overturn the state's 2020 election results. CBS News' Robert Costa has the latest.
The bond agreement made public after former President Trump's legal team met inside Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's offices set strict rules for Trump's release after his expected surrender later this week, saying he shall make no direct or indirect threat against any co-defendant or witness.
Yeah, and what they mean by that is just social media, which is kind of insane what they're doing with this whole case.
Several of Trump's 18 co-defendants also agreed to bond terms today, including his former lawyer John Eastman, one of the alleged architects of the plan to overturn the 2020 election. Despite 4 indictments and 91 charges against him, Trump's lead over his GOP rivals continues to grow.
He says even with this, it's because of this that his lead is beginning to grow. Again, they don't want to talk about this on the mainstream media, but they're going after his lawyers. His lawyers gave him legal advice, and they thought they were legally in the right to do all of this stuff that they did. And then, no, we're going to try to get him on conspiracy charges. Like, what is this? What happened to attorney-client privilege and everything like that? No. It's just dead, apparently.
CBS polling shows a 46-point advantage over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the only other candidate in double digits. Trump pointed to his dominance in the CBS poll as one reason why he's skipping the first GOP debate Wednesday in Milwaukee, a move criticized by his opponents.
He has a great opportunity to come out and do this. I think he owes it to people.
He's both afraid of me and he's afraid of defending his record.
Trump is planning an interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson that could air online at the time of the debate. Meanwhile, Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, who's cooperating with federal investigators looking at Trump's mishandling of classified documents, has, according to ABC, told special counsel Jack Smith he could not recall Trump ever declassifying documents before leaving the White House, contradicting the former president's claims.
And as Trump keeps gaining, CBS News has learned that some veteran Republicans are now encouraging Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin to enter the race. Trump's former national security advisor John Bolton tells me he recently met privately with Kemp to gauge his interest in jumping in and taking on Trump. John.
Robert Costa in
That
Washington.
just sounds hilarious. Brian Kemp's jumping in. Ron DeSantis is not beating Trump like people thought he was going to. Not even close. So now Brian Kemp's going to jump in. Yeah, the corrupt guy from Georgia who just could have done a lot to investigate election fraud in 2020, but he didn't want to even talk about it. And he's always criticizing Trump about it. Yeah, talk about a rhino. And it's funny they say, well, Trump, they didn't recall him declassifying documents. I don't know if this is true and it would have to go to court, but Trump's argument is and has been for a while, he doesn't have to. A president could just say, hey, it's declassified. I mean, like, how is Mark Meadows going to know that? Trump's just like, okay, I'm declassifying all this. He doesn't have to tell anyone. He can do it. That's what he thinks. Everyone wants to, like, talk all this trash about Trump and what he did and how it's illegal and corrupt and everything. He's not a lawyer. He just goes to his lawyers and his lawyers say, okay, this is what you can do. So, and he's like, okay, from my understanding. Yeah, I mean, you could take him to court and then we could settle all of this and figure it out for the future. But I mean, like, I don't think he was trying to do anything malicious. He just thought that's how he could declassify it. He's talked about it a lot and that's how it is. But to this arrest case, it's just more nonsense. I forget his name, Alan Dershowitz. It's like a lawyer, not the biggest Trump fan, but he was saying that this is just stupid. And they're just trying to get a conviction. It's never going to win on appeal. He was saying that it's pretty much impossible to get people on RICO charges. It has to be super ironclad. And this is just all involving his lawyers. So, yeah, maybe in certain county, like Fulton County, maybe a jury would convict Trump. I don't even know how likely that is. The D.C. and the New York one seem way more ironclad. The D.C., a jury in Georgia, they might not even want to convict Trump. So he might just get off. And like I've seen some people say, some political pundits, if Trump does get vindicated and gets off, it's just gonna show, or it's gonna seem like to his Trump supporters, he didn't do anything wrong. And I think a lot of people in the country are gonna think that. A lot of independents, like, all of this for what? And then he didn't even get convicted on round 2 with a corrupt prosecutor. He's definitely not going to get convicted if he goes to goes and doesn't appeal. There's no way. There's no way that's going to happen. But, they're just going to keep pushing for it because for whatever reason, they're so dumb. They think that if they convict Trump, that it's going to hurt him in the polls. And all this stuff shows it's the opposite. Trump's hilarious. He's like, he wanted a 4th indictment. He's like, oh, if we could get a 4th one at a rally in the last few weeks, he's like, if we could get a 4th one, we'll go climb even higher. So he wanted this. But let's look at what Trump responded with on Truth Social to this matter. He says, can you believe it? I'll be going to Atlanta, Georgia on Thursday to be arrested by the radical left district attorney Fani Willis, who is overseeing one of the greatest murder and violent crime disasters in American history. In my eyes, the trip to Atlanta is not for murder. Did he say that? Oh, no, in my case. Sorry, I'm like, in my eyes. In my case, the trip to Atlanta is not for murder, but for making a perfect phone call. She campaigned and is continuing to campaign and raise money on this witch hunt. This is in strict coordination with crooked Joe Biden's DOJ. It is all about election interference. That's what I think is crazy they're doing this to, because you could really argue in the future that it's ironclad election interference. People are just going all in on this. Again, he's winning in the polls. They could get in trouble for this in the future for doing this. They pretty ballsy move on this whole thing. The Federal District Attorney of Fulton County, Atlanta, Fani Willis, insisted on a $200,000 bond from me. I assume, therefore, that she thought I was a flight risk. I'd fly far away, maybe to Russia, share a gold dome suit with Vladimir, never to be seen or heard from again. Would I be able to take my very understated airplane with the gold Trump affixed for all to see? Probably not. I'd be much better off flying commercial. I'm sure nobody would recognize me. Trump is so hilarious. It's crazy. It's funny you put this. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't think this. It's just, what else is she going to do? Not post a bond? That's what they did in New York and stuff. But this chick, she really wants to go after Trump. And like you were saying, all these people campaign on going after Trump. What is his name? Alvin Bragg in New York and everything. This is how they raise money. They know people don't like Trump in the area, so they're like, oh, well, I'll go get elected. I'll get some George Soros money, get some money from rich donors, some rhinos like in the JFK, what was it? No, the Lincoln Project. Yeah, so that's what they're doing. But it's not going to go anywhere. All these charges are stupid. And the media's even been saying this since indictment 1 in New York. They're like, what are they going after him for, really? They're not going to get him at this. When you have pundits in the mainstream media admitting to it, I don't even understand where they think this is going to go. But they're going to do it anyway because, like he was saying, they campaigned on it and they're raising money from it. So, yeah, but again, if they get him on election interference, like, well, if Trump wins, that's what's really funny about them doing all of this, because they're like, okay, do all this because we're in power right now. But what if Trump wins? And then he starts bringing them up on charges, or his DOJ starts bringing them up on charges for election interference. Yep. Very, very interesting. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for daily news updates, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and share your thoughts on the story in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.